since I was off Wednesday instead of Thursday, but I didn't do a stream that day because I figured I would just go and see Return to Silent Hill. And I don't think I like this movie. I didn't really. I actually made notes too. I kind of had like this notepad of notes, and just because I was like, I got no one was in the theater, by the way. When I went to go see it, it was like maybe about 7 o'clock in the 7 p.m. because I felt like, let's go. I want to get popcorn and I want to go and watch this movie. But yeah, so I wrote notes here, so I'm gonna I'm just gonna get right into it. Like I said, I didn't really like this movie. I thought I was either gonna think this is just gonna be all right, or it was gonna be god awful. But this one I was just like, huh, all right. Which I guess is kind of worse because I guess it's more apathy, but it's like it's not a great movie. At least, well, I kind of wrote down things like just as I went by. But like for one thing, holy shit, there were so many studios behind this. At first, I thought, are you gonna fucking tell me who catered this whole production to? But other than that, it starts with James driving through town, with his ugly what is it? Shoot, a Charger or something? I don't know what it is. I don't know cars, but it's like it looks. Nothing screams midlife crisis like driving with a car that looks like I've seen like most Mustang. There we go. Sorry, thank you. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the only people I see who I've ever seen who used to drive that car usually or Camaros and stuff like that are like people who are kind of but the people who I only see like usually used to drive those cars are usually people like in their 40s who are kind of going through a midlife crisis. I don't know. Like when I first started working, like that was like the old guy had, and like there was another job I had like where that was another one. I think he had a Mustang actually, but either way. And apparently he's a painter. He's not a clerk. That was I guess because they had to put him like to marry his muse, which is kind of barely really talked on. I mean, yeah, you see all the damn paintings and everything of her, but yeah, whatever. Of course, he accidentally hits her stuff. They meet, or like he tries to help her, and like I didn't really get why she told the bus to leave. I mean, why couldn't she just take it on her with the bus that was broken? I mean, like that's why she told them to leave because oh no, your thing is broken or something. It's like okay, and then they meet. It's like oh, it's a beautiful place, and then like I'm obviously going back and obviously skipping parts, but and then like I guess they're gonna like hang out in Silent Hill for a little bit, and then summer storms start coming out. I don't remember that in the game. In fact, I don't remember anything ever being significant. It's just being foggy and rainy, but whatever. And then he wakes up. Oh, it's a bad dream. It's a dream, but I guess it's a flashback because this is how we're doing this. And he's drunk. And, he wants another drink, and there's like, nope, can't have any more, because you're drunk. And he accidentally pushes her, the waitress lady. It was completely by accident, obviously. There's a frame where he shows Mary dead underwater. Oh, did it? I think I saw that. I might have. I gotta be honest. At some point, I looked away and I started writing notes, but that was just me. I was like, okay. But then it goes into this, like I said, he accidentally pushes the girl, and like that's the bouncer. He's like, he's like trying to push him, and then it gets into this weird first person view where he's fighting them, which kind of comes out of nowhere. It almost gave me very hardcore Henry-esque type of kind of vibes, which I was like, okay, this is weird. And then he gets kicked out, and I think he either calls his doctor or did she call him? Oh, but yeah, the employees and the waiter just used brute force over an accident. Yeah. And I believe did the doctor call him or did he call the doctor? I think the doctor called him. He's like, she's like, because, yeah, the doctor from Silent Hill 2. Okay. I thought so. And her, and the way they frame her, it's like in a weird camera perspective, because like it's like shot through a glass, and I don't know if it's supposed to represent something. I'd have to see this again, and I don't really want to watch the movie again. Like, oh, you need to get over, Mary's death. You have to accept it. But of course, he kind of doesn't. And then like he goes back to his place. He has all his pictures. He's an artist again. I kind of, as opposed to in the original, and I'm gonna assume the remake, where he's just a clerk. He's just an every guy. He's not some special fancy guy. But whatever. Then he finds the letter on his desk, and it's not the letter. It's just, time has changed, come find me in Silent Hill. All right. He goes there. They kind of, believe he passes out again. I forget what happened. And then he wakes up because they got to put a lot of stuff in here. So sorry if I'm skipping through anything again, like I said, because I saw it and I was going, but I was taking notes and whatnot. But they kind of more or less copy what happened in the beginning of the game. He's looking in the mirror and whatnot. Let's see, where are we? Drink per person, artist, new letter. Hate the new letter. Angela, she just kind of shows up. She's nothing like regular Angela. She's not scared. She just kind of lumps around. She looks like, they had to put so much pounds of makeup on her to make her look different. And she kind of sounds her voice kind of sucks. I'll just say that it's worse than to me, it's much worse than the remake, because at least the remake was acting. This one is just, she's kind of has a frumpy voice. Oh, I'm waiting for the more insane parts. And she's getting like bags or something about the. But like she's trying to make it sound all schlubby, and I don't know why the hell she's doing that with somebody like Angela. But I kind of know now, because they tell you who she represents and shit. She kind of barely doesn't say anything. I mean, that's another thing. This movie's conversations. Yeah, a lot of these movies' conversations feel like they don't really add much, which is kind of weird for a movie. And of course, okay, let's see. Visual effects. Yeah, they don't look that great. You can kind of tell he's on a green screen. It's like it looks horrifically, almost obvious he is on a green screen. And of course, Mary's past. Yeah, okay. They're like at the flashback at the church again. Sorry if I'm going at a teeny tiny out of order. He's like, oh, let's live here, because okay, all right. I thought they just visited Silent Hill. They didn't actually have any association. He's like, I have a past, blah blah. I don't think you'd love me because I have a you won't not love me for my past. And I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna give her stuff. I mean, I didn't really need that for her. Shit, I lost my cap for my water bottle. Fuck it, I don't care. I can't find it. Anyway, let's see. And of course, he gets into the town, and everything looks like it fell in, like it's covered in asbestos or trapped. Someone's lint trap completely exploded all over the town. Again, something that was not really in the original in part 2. Everything just looked kind of wet. Or at least even in the remake just, everything kind of looked kind of wet, like it was just raining, which makes sense. It's a foggy town. So, but I did not like that. Unnecessary characters pretty much kind of goes into the Heaven's Night, which is no longer a dive bar. It's it's essentially a club. It's like, you meet these people. They talk about her dad, Mary's dad, Joshua Crane, how such a great man he is. And, obviously these people, I'm thinking, they're trying to incorporate the Order into this, which really doesn't, look, I know I complain a lot about now, especially with current games, how they don't really incorporate the order. See, but it was kind of okay with 2, because obviously 2 is like always the more experimental of the series, you know, with various titles. So they did, you know, it was perfectly fine. Oh, a different cult, but okay. See, I thought it was just the order, but okay, that's actually kind of dumber. They say like, oh, it's very old. It's like, oh, but it's like it's very old, you know, a very old society. I was like, okay, oh, okay, the order, huh? All right. Let's see. Yeah, Joshua Crane. How great she was. We don't really hear much about him. We see that weird little thing. Well, I'll get to it later. And the lying figures. That's like kind of what we eventually, when he gets back from the flashback, we eventually see the lying figures. I mean, who knows anymore? It's obvious this guy, Christopher Gans, just did whatever the fuck he wanted. But the lying figures, obviously, you know, the things that are supposed to kind of more represent, you know, with all the spewing of that acid, which they look way too clean. They're very white. They don't look, as opposed to in the games where they're more kind of a pinkish, yellowish, not yellowish, more of a dirty type of pinkish color. This one looks like it's completely white. I don't know why. I don't know what they're supposed to represent in this one, considering they were supposed to, you know, kind of, you know, fact that they spill out all this acid is kind of more representative of Mary's toxic, you know, being very verbally abusive to James. But so I don't fucking know. There's a homeless guy there. He kind of makes it seem like the monsters. Yeah, like the monsters. He kind of implies that the monsters have been there all along. So I don't know what they're supposed to represent this time. Maybe the lies that the town tells Mary. I don't fucking know. I shouldn't be really trying to defend this movie, but anyway. Now sanitized. I guess you could say they look kind of sanitized. They look kind of clean, and I don't like that. Let's see. And, oh yeah, of course. You know, eventually he kind of runs out, and then the horns go off, and then he's just running around for which feels more like a ride than anything else. It's just, hey, look at all this stuff that's happening. Look at these bugs that, you know, that are trying to come after him, and all the monsters. Because he's just running past all of them. That's kind of it. So it's like, oh, it's like Silent Hill the ride. Great, thanks. And then it eventually ends because sure, that added something. Because you got to pad this movie out. And like I said, they live in Silent Hill. They have an apartment. The bugs dragging the rat down was decent. I barely remember that, but I'm pretty. Yeah. Like aside from like the lying figure, those bugs didn't look half bad. They look creepy. But yeah, like I said, they live in Silent Hill, and they just kind of, which again, okay, also time period. They have smartphones. If I'm not mistaken, the original it obviously doesn't give you a solid time as when it takes place, but I think it's like the 70s, 80s, maybe 90s where the original takes place. And of course, this one has similar scenario to FNAF 2.
The world is a dark place.
And Shayla Davy, thank you for welcome to Spook House. But anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, they live in Silent Hill. He comes home. I'm pretty sure I'm getting this. I'm pretty sure I'm getting this correct. It's like when he comes home and he sees the cult members, they're like doing this weird thing. God damn it, where was I? The cult members are like because let's be honest, that's what they are at their place, and they're doing something to Mary. And, you know, James is just looking there. I'd be like, what the fuck? Get the hell out of my apartment. What are you doing to my girlfriend? But no, he doesn't do that. They're just having they see him and they're like, hey, we're all having a good old time. Let's all leave. And then that just kind of happens. Ages to muck it up. Hey, also, hey, Torse. And then they kind of like, oh, what's this? What's this little thing that's in the what's this little, I guess, diorama? I don't fucking know. Tribute? I forgot what it's supposed to be called. Shrine. There we go. And it's about, I guess it's her dad, and then you can, Eddie was done dirty. Oh God, we'll get to him. We'll get to him. Oh no, yeah, let's get to him right now. What the fuck was Eddie? Was Eddie supposed to be something? Is he supposed to be like another version of James? I really wouldn't put it past them. Like, he is in there for one scene. He's not schlubby. Well, he's schlubby, but he's not like, he's kind of angry. Crazy and angry. And we haven't even talked to him. And we haven't even, like, said much to him. I mean, he's in there for one scene. He talks to James. He follows him for a minute until they see Laura. We'll get to her. And then, shit gets really crazy. And then I guess he calls him, I forget what, James calls him a name. I think he calls him a son of a bitch or an asshole or a bastard. I forget. Either way. And then he just beats up James and then he leaves. And that's it. To explain everything, Kristen still manages to muck it up. Yeah, he just did his own thing, obviously. That's not a defense, that's just what he did. Oh, and there's a sickness. Oh, wow. Know what the sickness thing is real. I mean, obviously, because it kind of explains it, but it's like, I didn't, huh? You didn't need to give me all this. I feel like you gave me a bunch of stuff I didn't need. A bunch of stuff I didn't ask for my Silent Hill. And Laura. At first I was, no? Yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought I read something else. She's a creepy girl. That's it. And the second I freaking, the more, like, I saw her, like, I'm thinking, like, oh, all right, I know what they're doing here. Yeah. At first, they kind of try to take some of the cues from the original. She's on top of the wall, and she's holding the baby, which I'm going to assume. We'll get to it when we get to it, what it represents or whatever. It's like, oh, I knew Barry gave it to me. I don't really get that. I was like, oh, at first you think, oh, they're maybe going a little bit what they were talking with the game, but then no. And then she just runs away. She kind of has the crazy looking eyes when she's running away. I'm like, oh, wait, are you scared? Are you trying to lure James into something again? I don't, it's all the fan theories and the time loop, purgatory, it'll all his mind shit, and those idiotic fans like Max Jurat, I don't know who that is, it still felt second-handed embarrassment. Eddie almost has no screen time like the puppet in FNAF 2 movie. Maria was given the Michael Afton treatment while she isn't a villain. We're going fast. While she isn't a villain, the movie treats her like one. Too bad Gans didn't put circumcision in the movie. You know what? That would have been probably funnier. There's an original monster scorpion spider looking thing. I don't know. Laura's actress is the Proja head actress for the remake. Yeah, I know that. And so we're okay, but and the jump scares. Stupid. These are dumb. I was like, I saw them coming a mile away. I'm like, are you gonna do this? Yeah, you did it. Okay, you're boo. Get out. Oh, and yeah, of course, around the time when what's his face when they see Laura, they're trying to get her hand, and then Pyramid Head shows up, and Pyramid Head kind of sounds like the what's it called? Did I write it down? Okay, and of course, every time like the radio goes off, James gets a headache. Again, another thing they added that didn't really mean much, but Pyramid Head kind of had this weird what's this? Pyramid is the self-insert for James. Yeah. Yes, I know. Trust me. Oh, I fucking know. I saw it with the little hole in there. I was like, oh, you're gonna do this. Okay. Want bootleg plagiarized Silent Hill movie? Look up El Apartamento. But But I don't know. I don't know if anyone truly if remembers from Resident Evil 4. I forget what they're called. But the guys who have the claws and they go, "Roar, roar," they just, you got to shoot him in the back. He sounds a lot like that, Pyramid Head. I don't need him to really growl or anything. The whole thing is him kind of being more stoic, and whatnot. But hey, whatever. That's just me. Let's see. Skip. Oh yeah. The conversation with Angela. Wait, which one? I think there's only 2 scenes involving her. Well, 3, yeah. First time we see her trying to stop a flood. Yeah, and that just kind of didn't... Not the regenerator. Not the regenerator. The regenerators, those... They kind of look like more skinny tyrant... Let me see if I can find them. The Garador. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Garador. I don't know. That's what that's what it sounded like to me. That sounded stupid. Like, again, I don't really need Pyramid Head to make sounds. It's stupid. What was the conversation with Angela? It was actually, but only for a brief moment. Oh, you mean not so abstract, Daddy? Because holy crap, they were not subtle of what it represented. Gets the Vanessa treatment. As in, like, what, 3 scenes? And none of them are particularly great. I mean, they're not subtle with her. But also, again, we get to another twist of the game. That's something that they changed. The conversations, honestly, sound sloppy. Like, I don't... Well, I say not so abstract, Daddy, because literally what you see and what it's supposed to represent normally. But they just, like, they put faces on them. So like, oh, yeah, well, great, subtle. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, that was, I mean, I kind of knew it was going to happen, but it's like, but yeah, the conversations are absolutely, they're very clunky. They feel like they're really rushed. Which is kind of amazing because you probably could have had punched out the dialogue a lot more if, say, I don't know, you fucking took out some of the Silent Hill ride crap. That probably would have you could have saved yourself a few minutes in there. Also, they're not married, James and Mary, but they live together, and it makes me like, how long have they been together? They never really give you a specific. I mean, it feels like it's only been like a few months. But, also, hey, let's see, we're having such a nice day in Silent Hill, which I would assume is one day. Let's live together. And, let me not know anything about you, dude. I mean, oh, sweetheart, I help these idiotic fans who still think Kiryu Yamaoka is still the creator of Silent Hill. Why do they think that? He just made the music. And he thinks his stamp of approval makes it a Silent Hill can shut up. Yeah, I know that, but it's like, how long have they been together? Yeah, less than a year. Yeah, but like he didn't know anything about the cult at this point. It's like, holy crap. This is like, that's very, very rushed for a relationship. Jesus. Less than a year till the cult, drug shit, abandonment. It's wonky. Okay, well, where's my mic notes? Like I said, Taurus, I had notes when I watched this movie. No one was in there. It's nice to finish my popcorn. And I clean up after myself because that's rude and it's a dick move for the concessionist. Anyway, did I not say anything about Maria? Because she just kind of shows up. She looked kind of good as Maria. I mean, that's about it. They're together now. Oh, did I write that? Tone. I didn't leave. Why did? No, I did not. Okay. We're basically, they're in the hospital. Maria and James, because they just kind of meet up. He's following them, I guess, because sure. And they go in the hospital, and he's investigating. He's looking through files of Mary because she was obviously sick. We kind of figured that out. I might, if I skipped over the Wait, hold on. They had the trailer calling him the creator of Silent. Oh, of course they did. Maria is the one who says she looks like James's girlfriend. Yeah, I was like, where the hell did that come from? I'm like he should have said that, but of course they don't really say anything. He doesn't. He barely looks like he barely talks to her, honestly. But I didn't you like where he's looking at the files because she got. Wait, did the other vision, the little flashback happen where he sees Mary getting essentially abducted by the cult in the streets, and then he goes into that fence, and then he goes underground, and then he sees all that weird shit happening. Did that already happen? Or was this before they go into the hospital? But either way, that was something. Because again, you had to try to incorporate not the, I can't believe it's not the order. I don't know. Again, stupid. I feel like a lot of these elements that were in this could have probably been its own separate Silent Hill movie. In that, maybe make a movie that takes place in the world of Silent Hill, but not base it off any of the titles, any original titles. But again, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, did you love how, again, James is looking to the hospital. He's trying to look for stuff about Mary. And then Maria wanders off, and then she magically finds a videotape that talks about Mary being sick. How convenient. I mean, oh, wait, we'll get to that. Trust me. Oh, we'll get to that. Oh, God, that was stupid. But wait, see, at first when, they talked about, with the Flash, I'm obviously skipping a lot of this stuff because, either one, I kind of forgot about it, or two, I just didn't write it down. But, the nurses, obviously, they look, they're made of, I guess, cardboard or paper mache now. Also, how the hell did that nurse get past James? He was like smacking them all, and all of a sudden one gets past him, and then it kills, or well, it stabs Maria. And you think she's gonna die, but not really, not yet. And then he somehow, luckily the hospital has stuff to help her. He puts, I guess, that thing that on her stomach to keep the bleeding from, to stop the bleeding. What else is there? I think they get to, this is where the flashback where he wants to leave Silent Hill with her, or he wants them to leave Silent Hill, but she's like, but Mary's like, no, I can't do that. It's a family because they're my family. I love them, or some shit. It's like, I can't leave, but like, okay. One, you were trying to leave in the beginning. Two, I feel like James's tone being angry doesn't really fit the whole trying to get her to leave. If anything, I would have probably been more sympathetic. Obviously, he's seeing them doing stuff to her. He should be more horrified, but also be more supportive. Like, I love you. I want to fucking, we can leave together. We can do this, just you and me. I love you. I don't want to leave you. But no, it's just like a messy breakup. Like, maybe if, like, I don't know, what he saw was like, I don't know, her cheating on him. Maybe I would understand the tone in some regard, or he thought he was cheating on her. But no, he saw what we saw, which was fucking weird. And he just leaves like he's a boyfriend going through a bad breakup. It's like, what? I don't know. That's the good question, Cap. I don't know. It's like, but he leaves like a disgruntled boyfriend, and then he sees like the people there. I'm guessing they're still gonna do shit to her. I'm drinking my coffee. Anyway, of course, years pass, and holy shit, what the fuck was that beard? That beard. Why? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if you really loved somebody, and you knew they were into this, wouldn't you try to do everything in your ability to try to get them to leave with you? Tell them you love them. They don't have to be afraid. You'll protect them. Blah blah blah. All the sweet, really nice things, but not they're like absolutely mad at her because it's not her fault. It's like the tones don't fit this movie at all. Like I don't. Ugh. Oh, and yeah, like you said, Pyramid Head is James, which I figured they were going to do when they show the little hole through Pyramid Head. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, you're going to do that. Like a lot of these twists you can see a mile away. And it's had 20 years of shit that explains everything that makes Silent Hill 2 work, and he ignores it all. And of course, yeah, like you said, we get to the little twist. What is it? Mary Angela Laura Crane? Like, there was a hole here. It's James now. Oh, that fucking name. The second I was like, oh, you didn't look at her name, did you? I was like, oh, God. How would he not know that? They were living together. I saw that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, that's so stupid. That makes no fucking sense. And of course, then we get to the whole, like, everything's on fire because, of course, it has to be on fire. Abstract Daddy, or as I said, not so Abstract Daddy. It was James' head, but then the other plot twist of the child again. Don't worry, George. We're getting to it. I'm just trying to get in order because, like I said, I got notes and I just wrote this down. Abstract Daddy. I mean, you obviously know what Abstract Daddy is supposed to look like. It looks like a person, on top of another person, mounting them, because obviously representing the shit that Angela went through. But they weren't obviously, they just put faces on it, and they had, in case you weren't, you didn't really get it. So yeah, there you go. You see the guy that they're fleshed together. It's the guy on top. It's him on top of her. She obviously, it's because, yeah, subtle, not so abstract. Molester in his doorbed, right? Oh yeah, let's go back to this really fast. Oh, the whole thing with Pyramid Head. He doesn't grape anything. He just kind of beats the crap out of the monster, and then he just drags it away. Also kind of dumb. Just small thing, but I was like, all right, whatever. Like obviously you weren't going to show what he was really going to do, or what he did in the game, but whatever. Oh, and of course, at first I thought when they said, oh, you left her, I thought they were going to say like, oh, okay, you killed her, but you didn't kill her. Like you just left her. You left her, I guess, to be subjected to everything and thus killing her. No, he actually did kill her. Except she wanted to die. Huh? But he still feels bad about it. I can understand that. But it was a lot better in the games where, obviously the end, what happens in the end is more dictated on how you feel about James. And obviously it's always left to interpretation, even though, yeah, they made it a mercy kill as opposed to, kind of left up to you. Like, did he do it because he was selfish or did he actually love her? Obviously he might have had or maybe a mixture of both, but ultimately he didn't want her suffering because obviously that wasn't his Mary and whatnot, but whatever, I guess no. No pillow either. He just suffocates her with the fucking rag. I think it was a rag, right? Because, and she just kind of accepts it. Normally the whole thing of like doing that, smothering people and that, whatever, even in movies, there is that flailing because, it's your instincts basically trying to survive. I mean, if you played games like Doki Doki Literature Club, even like, what's her face? Sayori, I think. When you look at her body, you can see little claw marks on her neck to kind of show that she was trying to get out. But, whatever. That's just neither here nor there, but still stupid. Then, what else? Kind of, you see that monster, well, the monster in the Revelation, and then he sees the body, and we get what we're assuming was going to be the in-water ending. Which, all right, whatever. I don't care. I was like, I'm like, okay, good. We're getting to the end of this movie. Oh, but no, it's time travel. And they travel back to the part where they actually meet. Because, sure, why not? You know, I mean, a few things about Silent Hill 2 is just the painting. Oh, that's right, all the fucking pictures. Because again, he's an artist. I expect him to pull a clue, different endings for different theaters. No, see, that would have actually been kind of smart, but also I think from a marketing standpoint, that might piss a lot of people off, and I don't think they had the budget for that. Anyways, they would have to make obviously two different endings, or different endings, and they'd have to put them in different theaters. I think that I don't think they had the budget for that. Sure, ask away. I guess it's too much to expect from games. Well, that, and again, it's like that would probably be a lot of money, and that would probably piss off a few people in terms of mostly the the theaters. If someone knew everything about you despite the fact you've never seen them, how would you react? I'd be like, I'd be wondering if they're FBI, to be honest. It'd be kind of creepy if they knew everything about me. But he doesn't actually say anything. I mean, like, he does say, like, if you're talking about the ending where he knew Mary, he like the only things, like, he doesn't act flat out admit it. Like, the only thing he knows is his name, and he says, oh, I saw it on your luggage, and that's about it. But yeah, you know, the game that kind of has a little bit of, you know, I guess coming to facing the terms with what you've done, with what he's done. Because Mary's reaction screams shit writing. Well, the whole freaking dialogue in this game is shit writing. Like, honestly, I think it might have even been a better ending if, say, he let her get on the bus. You know, that might have been a bit more bittersweet. I feel like that would have probably been a bit more of a Silent Hill-ish ending, or even a bittersweet ending, you know, to where he lets her get on the bus and, you know, he just lets her live her life, because that would probably be the best for her. But but whatever. Where else am I? But yeah, time travel again. The whole theme with, you know, the original. I mean, going to, but also the original kind of has, you know, he has to realize what he has done and able to move on past it. That he did kill Mary, but able to either forgive himself and to move on with his life. This one's nope, time travel. You could restart it again. Yay. In Water and Loop ending are both canon. And of course they play Laura's theme at the end, which I thought was, at first I was like, oh, they're playing the actual OG Laura's theme, but no, apparently it's another arrangement that I guess I never heard. But yeah, that was the end of the movie. I didn't. It's like, It gets a 2 out of 5. I don't. It's like, also, James doesn't look anything like James. He looks like Sam Winchester from Supernatural. I don't know why they thought that was. I don't know why they made him look like that at all. It's not good. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I agree. Not the original, the same as the remake. Too much electrical guitar. Lots of the dreamy acoustics. Yeah, keep in mind, I just heard that first the beginning riff, and I was like, oh, it's the original for a sec. But then again, I didn't come to that realization until after I left the theater, because I kind of just left after. I was like, I'm done with this. I don't give a shit if there's some stupid ass Avengers ending of, I don't know, fucking Laura will be back in it in Doomsday. I was like, oh, okay. Mostly when I was looking over my notes, like, oh, did they do the original? I was like, oh, no. And then I looked it up. It's like, no, it's the arrangement from the remake. So whatever. Anyway, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I agree with you, Cap. It's a 1. This movie was not good. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be good. I just didn't think. Honestly, it's a lot. It's not as bad as I thought, but it's still not good. Which So, but it's yeah, I'll still stick with the one. It's not a good movie. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Let's go with somebody else's. It's like a 12-minute video here, and I do like this guy too. Anyway, Dr. Wolfula, he is another guy, another horror YouTuber I like. So he's pretty cool. Let's see if we can compare notes with him as well. So yeah, it says Return to Sender as his title. So I'm gonna assume he didn't like it much either. So yeah, here we go.
Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, with a review of the Silent Hill film franchise's reboot, Return to Silent Hill. But boy, after watching this flick, I sure wish I hadn't returned to Silent Hill. Now, these Silent Hill movies are, of course, adaptations of the popular survival horror game franchise. Return to Silent Hill is the third entry in the film series, but this film adapts the second game in the series. You see, the first Silent Hill film and Revelation were loose adaptations of the games Silent Hill 1 and 3, which have connected stories, while Silent Hill 2 tells a standalone story. So when they
they had the TV, but they didn't have the dead body, which was more or less supposed to be James.
were making the first film sequel, they probably figured it'd make more sense to just continue the story of the first film's characters instead of adapting the second game. They probably also thought all they really needed from the second game was that Pyramid Head fella. Just shoehorn him in somewhere, despite him not being in the games the first two movies were adapting.
And make no damn sense.
Whatever. The first two Silent Hill films were not great, but the first film could be considered, at the very least, a tastefully done attempt at a video game adaptation at the time of its release. It isn't campy, it takes the material seriously, and resembles a Silent Hill game, with some cool, spooky visuals.
Which kind of makes me wonder, like I said, there are some interesting concepts, and that skinning scene will live rent-free in my head. But like I said, there are some interesting ideas that he had. Again, you could probably have a couple in Silent Hill, and maybe one of them having a past, the girlfriend having a past, and some shit going on with that. As in, why didn't you just make your own, Silent Hill entity in terms of a movie? You didn't have to say it's based off another entry. I think that would be a lot more interesting. Hell, I can't imagine if you can mess with your own lore, because clearly he was trying to tie Return to Silent Hill 2 with The Order, which again was not done very well. It's very clunky, and it's never even really brought up. Like after that whole him leaving James leaving. So it's like, yeah, why don't you just make your own thing? It probably could have worked then. It'd probably be a lot less probably be more palatable, I'd say, but whatever.
Simultaneously, the first film carries the typical smugness many filmmakers have when adapting a video game to film, feeling that they're above the material and that they can make significant alterations, improving from the game in their mind. When the first Silent Hill film really just feels shallow, only able to string together some loosely connected spooky visuals without bringing anything compelling to the table to warrant adapting these games to film. Silent Hill Revelation, on the other hand, the second film, is just a fully dumb, campy movie. The kind of video game adaptation you expect from its...
Why does it look like Rick from Splatterhouse? He's got like the terror mask and everything.
...era. And while it does a disservice to the games, it can be argued that it's at least a fun, bad movie to watch. Christoph Gans, the director of the first Silent Hill film, returned to direct and co-write,
Not Christopher, Christoph. Why do I feel like he did that intentionally?
Return after declining to direct Revelation, and Gans spending 12 years having all of his film projects stuck in development hell. And after seeing his latest film, I can understand why. 20 years after his first Silent Hill film, it's readily apparent with his second attempt at adapting Silent Hill that he's devolved as a filmmaker, and that's not helped by the facts that Return to Silent Hill has less than half the budget of the first Silent Hill film to work with, and that this is also an adaptation of Silent Hill 2, the best introduction to this franchise for newcomers, the entry that most fans would want to see a film adaptation of. This is the one you have to get right, and they really did not get this shit right. But before I go into my Return to Silent Hill review, I have a message from my sponsor. Me! Pledge to my Patreon today to support the channel, help it continue to grow, and you'll also get access to weekly movie nights every Sunday, and archive commentaries if you miss the movie nights live. Just $5 a month to get a movie night every week. Here are the movies I'll be streaming next Sunday.
Ooh.
Pledge to patreon.com/Dr. Wolfula if you're interested in my bonus streams, and I thank you in advance.
You did it, didn't you, Jimmy? You woke him up.
Also, I'm not a big fan of them calling him Jimmy.
Confusing title aside, Return to Silent Hill, like the game it's based on, Silent Hill 2, is a standalone story with no direct connections to the previous films. The dumb title refers to its main character returning to the town after previously living there. That aside, it's still a pretty shitty title. It makes it sound like it's an anniversary re-release of the first movie.
Please come back to our special place.
Like in the game Silent Hill 2, Return to Silent Hill deals with the story of James Sunderland, played in this film by the horribly miscast Jeremy Irvine, who surprisingly returns to Silent Hill upon receiving a letter urging him to go there from his dead ex-girlfriend Mary. Yeah, James and Mary in this film weren't married like in the game, because old people get married. The James in this movie is supposed to be cool, young, and edgy, with director Christoph Gans even saying the reason why his James doesn't look like the intentionally pathetic game character, being that Gans wanted James to instead look like Jim Morrison.
Why?
More of a rock star.
Oh, that's right. He did say that, didn't he? It's like the whole point of these games is that they're not, obviously the Team Silent ones, like they're not larger than life type of characters. They're supposed to be like regular people. Again, James is a clerk. He's not an artist. Which is still stupid that they added that.
Star who gets into drunken brawls at nightclubs while grieving his dead ex, which is all
First person drunken brawls.
really fucking dumb, but this movie gets dumber.
Please come back.
Upon James's return to Silent
There you
Hill,
go.
he finds it isn't the beautiful lake town he once knew, and that it's suddenly a foggy ghost town devastated by a series of disasters that happened less than a year since he left, basically turning the town into Detroit.
Everyone got sick in Silent Hill.
Only a few stragglers remain in the town, like a traumatized suicidal woman named Angela, a paranoid loon named Eddie,
We barely see.
and a little girl named Laura, who is actually coincidentally played by the same child actress from the Silent Hill 2 remake.
No one said it would be easy. What's the big deal?
The director was not aware he cast somebody from one of the games because he probably never really played these games to begin with. He probably just watched one of his kids play them and thought they'd make for a good movie.
You know what? I believe that.
Which is the usual story with these video game movies.
The first film was so well received by the fans of Silent Hill because they felt that I was one of them.
Now, Laura, despite having a minor role, pun unintended, is a good illustration of what's wrong with this movie. In the game, Laura's a normal-looking little girl who the player would want to try to rescue from danger.
And his representative supposed to represent innocence because she does not see the monsters.
Who's enigmatic purely in her behavior, and her innocence makes it so she is unable to perceive the malevolence of Silent Hill.
There you
There are
go.
all sorts of strange things around here. I can't believe you haven't even gotten a scratch on you.
Why should I?
In the movie, though, Laura is made to
At least the movie showed how impressive her acting for Laura's range is. Yeah, she's not bad. I mean, she obviously, given the script, with the script she's given, it's fine. She did an okay job. I gotta wonder if well, I don't know how much she would know about the series itself, but like why did she probably maybe part of her was like, this is really different than what I did in the movie, in the game.
be a stereotypical creepy-looking ghost girl with sunken eyes and a cold demeanor, dressed vaguely like Megan, robbing the character
God.
of any subtlety and making her a character that James shouldn't trust and the audience definitely wouldn't trust at all.
We have to get to her before it's too late.
That's the big problem with this adaptation of Silent Hill 2. It just takes away any sense of subtlety from the original game story, which was still a product of its time as a game. There was a lot of on-the-nose writing.
Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they looked at you.
Oh yeah? Why not?
So it's saying something when the movie version of this game makes everything about its story feel even more obvious, turning any subtext possible into text.
Yeah, but also, the acting in the original was supposed to be intentional. Again, it's like very dreamlike.
Take Maria in Silent Hill 2, for example, who helps James on his quest to find his wife. Maria's name makes it obvious that she has some relation to James's wife, Mary, but Maria's aesthetic disguises her enough that it isn't immediately apparent that she might be James's wife in some other form.
You could be her twin.
Return to Silent Hill's take on
Never
Maria
mentions it. She brings it up, which is stupid. I know y'all said that, but still, it's still really dumb. Not even really flirty with him, unless like toward the end when she tries to get him to leave with her. Which, okay.
Is conceptually similar to the game, but they have her wear a ridiculous wig and outfit that takes her from looking like an alt girl to looking more like a woman doing a slutty Spider-Gwen cosplay for her fansly. It really calls attention right away that Mary and Maria are played by the same actress, and that it isn't instantly addressed as jarring.
Like literally the only person the only thing I didn't really know is when they said that she's also playing Angela, because she looks so different, mostly because they put a bunch of makeup on her. I was like, oh, that's the same person? All right. But they also never really showed a lot of Angela either, so.
The wardrobe and wigs on the cast are thoroughly terrible in this film. It's like watching a porn parody without the porn. At one point, Jeremy Irvine has a thick beard during a flashback in the film, and it just looks like it's made out of pubes or something. It's like a Santa Claus situation, but James is turning into Haley Joel Osment.
Milk was a bad choice.
The cheesy melodramatic performances of the...
Okay, the one on Anchorman looks better, most likely because that probably was Will Ferrell's beard, for all we know. But yeah, that you can literally see that thing was like glued onto his face.
Cast make this flick feel like a CW show. I've never seen the actors in other films, so I hope it's just poor writing and direction to blame for this film's acting. It makes it really difficult to take seriously this film's story of trauma and grief. In fact, it's impossible to take it seriously.
Oh, the darkness, you can't give it away.
A big issue with...
I'd say it's a lot difficult considering... Oh yeah. It's a lot difficult to take itself seriously, particularly if you've played the games. Like, I've said this before, if you're going to make something that's, based off a franchise, you have to take the fans into consideration. And I don't think, obviously, Christoph did. He just kind of thought, hey, there are people who like the original one, the last one I did. Let's try that again.
Return to Silent Hill is really fundamentally how it handles the story of Silent Hill 2, which dealt seriously with heavy themes involving grief, remorse, abuse, and suicide, which was innovative to experience in a video game story at the time.
I deserved what happened. No, Angela. That's wrong.
Return to Silent Hill handles these grim themes purely on a superficial level to try to make it appear that its narrative actually has depth, when it's really as shallow as a puddle of piss. The film doesn't actually engage on an intellectual level with its themes, and even tones down the darker elements from the game, unintentionally giving the movie no emotional impact, so the final film really amounts to just watching Jeremy Irvine wander around a bunch of dark, spooky hallways with things popping out at him occasionally.
Silent Hill the ride.
There's nothing really psychological about this psychological horror movie, especially since Return to Silent Hill integrates an element that was in all of the classic Silent Hill games except Silent Hill 2, a crazed cult implied to be responsible for the monsters lurking in the town.
I don't know. At first, because obviously there's a lot of red squares, I kind of thought maybe they were trying to connect that part with the games or whatever, but at some point I was like, I don't fucking care anymore.
Now, Silent Hill 2, the game, didn't have a cult presence in its story because the game was purely psychological. It's ambiguous whether or not the events that happen are purely in James's mind, or if the town is manifesting James's inner demons as physical monsters and people. So involving the cult in Silent Hill 2 would muddle the story's ambiguity.
You're not friends with that red pyramid thing, are you?
Red pyramid thing? I don't know what you're talking about.
The two Silent Hill movies had the cult element, though, like the games they were adapting, and the director of Return to Silent Hill clearly cared about tying things together unnecessarily, as this new film not only involves the cult, but also ties them directly into James's story. His girlfriend Mary was not only the daughter of the cult's leader, but Mary's illness was also caused by the cult, not only taking away the story's ambiguity, but also taking away from the tragedy surrounding Mary's illness by turning it into something that could be easily avoided if she just didn't hang out with a fucking cult like James wanted, stupid bitch. She deserves to get smothered with a pillow in this movie. It's not fucking sad in this version.
No. Okay, I kind of laughed at this because this was just so stupid. Oh my god, it was like, I know they were supposed to be sad, obviously, but Jesus. Maybe you should have done what the game did and just kind of, scramble it a little bit or make it fuzzy. But Jesus, him crying like this, oh my God. Jeez, oh God.
The ultimate outcome with Return to Silent Hill is that it feels like taking Jacob.
That's bad when you fucking make murder look funny like this. Jesus. I think you're right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you were right. You called it, Cap. Jesus, this is a 1. I don't give zeros, but 1 is like the lowest.
Jacob's Ladder, the film that inspired the game series, and turning it into a campy, dumb B movie. Return to Silent Hill is maybe only a notch above Silent Hill Revelation quality. Hell, Return to Silent Hill approaches Uwe Boll quality in some places. This movie's that fucking bleak. I will say, though, that some of the monsters in Return to Silent Hill look cool. It translates some of the game's classic enemies well into live action, especially Pyramid Head, who's faithfully realized from the game. Though Pyramid Head only has 2 scenes, one of which where he fights a CGI spider version of Mary that looks totally ridiculous. Though they do show a close-up of the spider chick's CGI ass. That was nice, I guess. The Bubblehead nurses also look like a bad cosplay version in the film, and there's some pretty bad CGI mixed in throughout the movie, especially the CGI roach monsters. Overall, it makes the film feel like a really inconsistent.
When they showed the camera under like the chain link fence thing, I thought they were gonna have those, monsters that that are under there. I forget what they're called, but I thought they were going to have them in there, but nope, just the roaches.
Haunted house maze. This movie is a lot like that Smiling Friends scene where Pim runs through the scary hallway and encounters Pyramid Head, but it goes on for a whole movie and isn't scary or funny. Overall, Return to Silent Hill looks really fake, ugly in an unintended way, like they shot the whole thing in front of a green screen when they didn't. Honestly, the cutscenes in the Silent Hill 2 remake look more fucking realistic than this movie.
James, so much time has passed. But I'm asking.
The one fully positive aspect of Return to Silent Hill, though, is that franchise composer Akira Yamaoka scored Return to Silent Hill like all the other games and films, which gives this new movie some measure of authenticity, and he delivers some creepy, atmospheric music like always. Too bad it's not in a better movie.
I'm here. I'll always be here.
Yeah, he's really got to stop taking every goddamn role.
Return to Silent Hill is a pretty terrible adaptation of a classic game, made worse by the fact that they also gave this movie a happy Hollywood ending when all the other endings of the game are grim or ambiguous. If you ignore the Shiba Inu and UFO endings, of course.
Hey, I would have actually liked those endings too.
This new Silent Hill movie seems like it's made by somebody who doesn't really get the appeal of the games beyond a surface aesthetic level. It really feels like a throwback to crappy 90s and early 2000s video game adaptations. This new film makes Christoph Gans's competent work on the original Silent Hill films seem like it was purely a fluke. Return to Silent Hill isn't even at least
I'm gonna say it was, since, Silent Hill 1 isn't probably the most complicated one to adapt, since again it's only as deep as you make it. It's because of it's just mostly Harry, not Henry. It's just Harry essentially looking for his daughter. That's about it. So it's as deep as you want it to be, which has probably made it a lot easier. So he could kind of put all that stuff in there.
A so bad it's good movie like Revelation. It's just a bad movie with dialogue and scenes that just made me feel kind of embarrassed for the makers of the film. All of this to say, Return to Silent Hill fucking sucked. Hopefully it doesn't negatively impact future installments in the game series. I give Return to Silent Hill a Jacob's Stepstool out of Jacob's Ladder.
Oh.
All you care about is that dead wife of yours.
Yeah. Fuck this movie.